profit with the paper title is Impact of Socio-Ecology Interaction on Local Food Security and Food Culture from Andalas University. So please give a big applause for him.
Thank you so much. Could you please put? Okay, I'm delighted to present my research about impact of socio-ecology interactions on local food security and food culture. I will quick for these sessions because only 10 minutes for me. Well, as Mr. Anton said, that it is not only the fact that only the stock we have to deal with, but there is so many. For instance, the national levels, quantity, and it's about production and distributions, and also macro orientations, regional levels, distribution, and that's not answering our food security, especially food culture. But most of them are just playing with the quantity of stock of rice. But in the household level, we have a quality, nutrition, diversity of food, dietary, food culture, and also habits. This is what my work focuses on. So that's why the intensity in cases of food insecurity is focused on the household levels. That's why in this graph we can see clearly what is the food security means. So my methodology is quite easy, that I choose 4 different places in the West Sumatra, and I use participatory rural appraisals, and then conclude everything about questionnaires in household, and also looking for what is the potential and resources in that area, and the 200 respondents, and I use Max Data 10 and F4 audio analysis. We build in Marburg University in Germany, and we start our work from May until September 2009. But then again, we try to do our research again because of the earthquake in West Sumatra at the time. So that in June 2010 we repeat again. So what is the answer? The answer is, the answer is rice still 100% in West Sumatra eaten by people. So that means it cannot be like a diversity of staple crops. So then we cannot afford or put effort on the diversity of staple crops since that 100% of people think that they are not eating yet if they are not eating rice. And then what Mr. Anton said also, like fish, we have to focus on fish production for the protein intake, but we see that in 1888 or almost more than half, more than 50% from fish intake, but not makes sense because this fish not a fresh fish. This is from the salted fish. It means the protein and the other micronutrients is not available for the high quantity and also quality. And since then, the food culture in the West Sumatra, cassava leaf and cabbage, or cassava leaf mostly eaten by people. It's also good for the food for the dietary accommodations because cassava leaf also can naturalize the high blood pressure in this area, so that the dynamic of the high blood pressures can be decreasing. So, interestingly, what is the interactions between ecology and socio? Here we see that only watermelons in this area, I call it NPLM, is one of the research sites where the very scarcity of the water resources, and that, but then they eat more watermelon because of the humidity is very high, and then they need more water in that area. So that's why this is, I call interaction of socio-ecology. So many things that many interaction, but in these 10 minutes I cannot say everything, but it's one of the example of the interaction is watermelons with their consumption. And then the peripheral diet, maybe you might know, like snack and traditional food, there is nothing eaten in this area because mostly people there are going abroad, so the young people are not stay there, so it makes there is no regenerations to establish the traditional food. That's why the interaction because there are less resources, and then they try to look the other resources in the other area, so that's why there is no regeneration of the traditional food in this area. So then still we here found that 29 items in the area for the typical traditional Minangkabau's food, but then only 12 of them in this area are cultivated. It means that we know that farmers who cultivate these spices can protect, can keep the diversity if we refer to ecology. So that since there are not many people there, and then we see that it's not comparable. So, it's only 3 items out of 3, and also so many spices now even not recognized by the young generations. And then still we see here 2 until 3 times a day for the durable daily intakes, because of the they have only less resources, food resources, but also because of the income. What Mr. Anton also said, that he said about the revenue, because culturally people still cultivate their own land because of their culture, not because of they can cultivate because of they have income, but because of the culture. So where they get the food? They get the food because they still have part of land to cultivate other crops, and also they get remittance from the city, so that they get money to provide their daily life. And this is the ratio. I don't want to talk that more detail, but I just can say that. So the care of the awareness of the people, mostly because of their lack of technology, science, wisdom of traditional experiences, and indigenous knowledge. This is the figure saying that people actually really care about to get the technology. Please come. To get technology and also experience and indigenous knowledge. That's why we need, in the future, we need transfer of knowledge through maybe agricultural extensionists or the other expertise to the local area. But then, if we look very deeply, they have already the indigenous knowledge, and also they have their own technology, but not really understanding by the local government. That's why I also disappear. But one thing that I got, that one crops or one plant can also expel the insects. They use this for the many times ago, and this is also can increase the yield of the paddies. But local governments not really understand what it is, because the local government's officers also lack of the education about this. That's transfer of knowledge also limited. So what we can conclude in the end is, so there is 3 levels: social aspect, management aspect, and ecology aspects. So all of these are together in the network. The point is, the low agricultural income, it makes the people less aware to the ecology. The chance to get revenue is less, and make them insecure, in positions insecure. So then what we can do? What we can do is a non-agricultural income. And non-agricultural income, for instance, remittance, that we can expect from the people are going abroad, and fishing if they have coast, ponds or close to the coastal area, and also weaving. This is just typical of this area. But maybe this kind of methodology can see everything should based on the local resources, not what the government or central government wants, but everything should be managed well in the local perspective. So that's why only one of the research sites can strong enough, even though they have less resources. And then what we can say is, in the end, global thinking and local responsibility. So we have to look very broad what is the problem, but then to solve the problem, it's from the local responsibility. I hope my time is very punctual, so thank you very much, and I'm glad to get questions. Thank you.
Nice presentation from what you did, David. Maybe we have a lot of questions for this presentation, and we only have 5 minutes for discussion, so maybe we can discussion now. Is there any question? Okay.
What is the really motivation of your experiment? Because you mentioned that the social as the effect of the social life, and but the real the motivation that you can really apply for the people in, you said that the data from West Sumatra. Yeah? That's my. What is the motivation? I mean, that what is the application of this for the people? Just for study, just for study.
No. Yeah, thank you for your. So if we go to the agriculture sectors, we have stakeholders, right? So every stakeholders is participate to improve or to increase the food security. One of the stakeholders is farmers, local governments, and also the buyers, we as consumers. So then from this research, we can see we always thinking about these 3 stakeholders, but we never think about the other stakeholders, which is ecology. Ecology surround them. So we cannot force them to cultivate more rice, but the ecology cannot provide, cannot give the nutrients. So why we have to force them to cultivate rice? Maybe the other things. Maybe like what I said, watermelon could be sufficient for them. I mean, could be good for them. And then also these watermelons can also distribute to the other places. So then the point is, like, if we look like this, we can see that food security is not only one production. Food security means like diversity of that resources. So then that's why I look from the perspective of ecology. Yeah, maybe can.
Yeah, maybe I have one question. Actually, this is the classic question. Why you choose the West Sumatra? Because yeah, I look here because there are culture effect or culture. Yeah. I saw here. I think in West Sumatra, in NU, NAD, NPLM, and NPSs have a same culture.
Well, not exactly. Not exactly. So
what's the difference?
I'm not based on the difference between, if you look, it's coastal area, hilly area, and also the others. So then one culture in different ecology side. So that's why my point is ecology, social interactions. So the social is there, so then we look the different ecology systems. So why I choose West Sumatra? Because these cultures are really still hopefully cultivate the diverse of spices. And then they used to it for the daily life. But the problems in the end, I said that is because the young generation cannot or not willing to get the knowledge, so then maybe disappear. So then in order to protect the biodiversity, the demand of the spices itself should increase, right? So that's why I choose this as my research site.
And how about the supply for the food security of the West Sumatra?
Well, there is no such a number to say food security. If we say based on the ministry, they said only the yield of the rice. So based on my terminology, many of terminology said only based on rice, but food security itself, that's why I put for first triangle saying that not only that as a food security, but I said the food culture, food habit and diversity, you become healthy not because of one rice, but you become healthy because of many macro and micronutrients. That's why I'm saying that food security should be based on the household levels. Then now you already adopt this terminology. So not only we have stock, we enough to feed our people that we are secure. Now, So this is a new methodology that we maybe UNDP also use this methodology.
One more. I'm the girl
sorry, actually the time is limited. Maybe you can directly ask.
Aye.
Yeah, thank you. And give a pause for Mr.